Hi, in this lesson I'm going to show you how to adjust the bridge, the proper way to do that, what you need to do, the steps you need to take, and I'm going to show you actually what your right hand does when you slap and bring it back up. So let's go ahead and get into that lesson right now. Okay, so one of the first things you want to remember is that your bridge, you want it kind of slightly tilted back. You want this lined up with that mark right there on both sides. You know, use a tape measure, make sure that those are even. That's in case it slides, okay? Now you can mark it with the pencil, that's the best way to do it. But one thing you got to remember, and if you're not sure about how to do this, I would suggest that you take it to a shop that knows what they're doing. But me, you know, I've trialed and errored a bunch of stuff and messed around with things and figured these things out for myself. So now, the first thing that you want to do, see if I can get that in a better position, is you're going to have to turn this knob right here, you know, and you know you want to use a pair of channel locks. So if you turn this one turn, then you go to the other side and you turn this one back to that side, back to that side, and again that's basically how you do it. Now some have knobs on the side, and you don't need a pair of pliers or anything. You can just turn it by hand, do it that way. You know, you want to loosen the strings first a little bit, not too much, but you want to loosen them up. Like I said, one turn on this side, one turn on this side, one turn on this side, one turn on this side. And if you're not sure about, even after watching this video, how to do it, I would suggest that you take it to a shop. You know, I would take it to FMI, Fantastic Musical Instruments in Pasadena, but that's just me. You know, I don't know where you might live or whatever. You know, I'm sure there's a shop somewhere, and so that is the way to do it. Now, if you don't have this, if you just have a solid bridge, well then, you know, you'd have to go buy one. Generally a shop will set that up for you yourself if you go buy one. And so that's how you do that. Okay, so now my bass, I got it set, it's about 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch right in there. That's just personally where I prefer it. You can try it in different ways. I've seen guys have it real low and they can really jam on it. But that's just personal preference. You'd have to try that out yourself. Another thing is, you know, the difference in strings. You know, that might play something on how high you want it or low you want it, whatever. Again, that's all personal preference. But mine, it's about 1/4 of an inch. You know, you measure with a tape measure right in there. It's 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so on the right hand, what you're doing, and I'm just going to use a simple little E thing. So it's, you slap it and you basically pull it back. You know, you want that up. You don't want to get your hand too far under there. It's just basically the tips of your fingers pulling it back. So try it from this angle. So right, so kind of at an angle, but basically just the tips of your fingers, and you're just pulling it back just a little bit. You don't want to get your finger too far into there. You know, you never get anywhere. And so that's basically what it is. Just pulling it back. Just get your tips of your fingers under there. Pull it back. And that's how you do that. Okay, so I hope that helped you out. I hope, you know, like I said, if you do try it, just be real careful. One turn this side, one turn that side, one, till you get it the desired height that you want it. And again, not sure about it, take it to somebody who knows what they're doing. You know, as far as the right hand, you know, again, like I tell you, if you're a new player, do it slow until you can build it up. And you know, once you get the mechanics of it down and you're thinking like a drummer, you know, you're kind of like a drummer and a bass player when you're doing this. So when you got those mechanics down, you know, it starts becoming easier and easier. So I would just say, you know, don't get discouraged. And like me, you know, people say, you never do that. You never do that. Well, I proved them wrong. And so, you know, I would encourage you to do the same. Don't let people tell you you can't do it. Just go and try and do it. And prove people wrong. You know, because the upright bass, it's a lot of fun to play. It's not the easiest instrument to play, but once you get used to it and once you get to knowing where all the notes are and you start getting confidence that way, it's a lot of fun. And these little tips I'm showing you, I hope they're helping you out to maybe save you some trouble, some things I had to figure out on my own. But anyway, you know, you start putting all those things together and just practice the thing slow, keeping even tempos, then eventually things like this are those kinds of things become a little bit easier. You know, you just start figuring things out. Oh, hey, that's a cool riff. This guy does that. That guy on this record does that. You know, and you can put things together on your own. And as long as you're always in time and keeping the band functioning, you'll probably get called back to a lot of gigs. You know, and it can be pretty good for you. So anyway, I'd just like to say thanks for watching my video. I hope this helped you out, and I'll see you on the next one.